James Dellingpool once labeled environmentalists watermelon, saying that they're green on the outside, communist red on the inside. And here we are in Canada where they're showing their true colors. Here we have the deputy leader of the Green Party in Canada saying the quiet part out loud, saying we're not going to be printing money. We're talking about stealing it. Now, might as well get right into the clip so you can see exactly what his words were, and then we can fuss about what he meant by them. Let's get into this.
There is money in this country, but it's poorly distributed. We've been calling for many years for a guaranteed livable income. This is a great opportunity right now that Canada has. We've got the money. The money is there. We saw just a couple of days ago that CEOs in this country have already made in one day more than the average Canadian salary, roughly $60,000 in one day, with average salaries that range around $15 million a year. That is a lot of money, and money needs to be taxed and it needs to be redistributed. Now, the burden of that taxation cannot be on the middle class. It needs to be, and we'd love to see some courage and some determination from our Liberal and NDP friends to actually go and get the money where it is and redistribute it. So we're not talking about printing new money. We're talking about redistributing the wealth that currently exists in this country.
We're not talking about printing money. We're talking about stealing it from people who earned it and giving it to people who didn't. This is Jonathan Pedneault, or is that Pedneault? Is it a bit like Guilbault? Stephen Guilbault? Guibo? Is this Pedneault? Anyway, this is his official page on the Green Party of Canada platform. Now, you would think that on the Green Party of Canada platform, showing their deputy leader on there, there would be some sort of write-up about him and his pledge towards the environment. But you'd be surprised would you be surprised actually if you read this whole thing and there was nothing about the environment? Yes, there's nothing about the environment in this whole write-up. It's unbelievable. But what are some of the people saying about him and his words today? Here's Marty Up North, friend of the channel. You see him every week. I just had to give this one because it's right on point. Money needs to be taxed and it needs to be redistributed. Jonathan Pedneault, Green Party of Canada, deputy leader. At least he's honest about his agenda. I give him that. He's honest about what he's talking about. There's an entire generation of these weak-minded, woke, socialist university grads in our political system. They're all also infiltrating all our institutions and bringing their failed ideology to the table. By the way, that's a UN pin on his $1,000 vest. We should be redistributing that vest, shouldn't we? We should chop it up in little bits and give it to all the poor people out there. Maybe stick it in their in their food bank bags because they're all lining up for that. And it has nothing to do with socialism being the savior in this one. But yes, this is the what is commonly known as the Schwabstica. And this is the UN Sustainable Development Goals pinwheel that some of the most savory characters out there are wearing as lapel pins. People wearing this badge are destroying your future. Yeah, let's stop the WEF. Let's stop this SDG stuff. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy, as the motto goes. This is the way it is. And yes, of course, the road to hell is paved with UN sustainable development goals. Absolutely. Now, I put this one out there on Twitter as well because true words never lose their value. They only go in and out of relevance. And right now, these are so relevant to our situation. The problem with socialism is that you run out of other people's money. Margaret Thatcher, thank you for your service, Margaret. The late, great Margaret Thatcher did such a great job in England, not always recognized as, one of the first women in politics, but she was, and while she was on the right, and that's why people don't like to congratulate that one. But let's look at the Green Party platform. What do they have to say their values are as a party? And we're not just talking about the deputy leader anymore. We all know Elizabeth May and her opinions. Again, back to the watermelon analogy, and that's always great. But here are their core values. Green parties around the world share common values. Our policies are based on 6 fundamental principles. You'd think environmentalism would be right on the top. No. Sustainability. Sustainability is code for energy programs to shut down industry. And that's absolutely what that is. Build together. What? Build back better? Is that what you can say? Anyway, non-violence, but it shows a UN helmet. I don't know how those things square themselves away, but that's their thing. And UN is their big thing. And I'm going to get into how this goes beyond just the Green Party. They're not the only ones trying to push UN agendas. But yeah, they're definitely on that. And then social justice, respect for diversity. Hold on. Oh, and then the environment's way down there. It's all the way down there. Ecological wisdom. This is where I've always said, steer clear of these people. They're if you want to be ecological, don't be environmental. And that's why I have the shirt on the store. You can go get your ecological, not environmental t-shirt. Tell people that you care about the environment while not being a complete dingus. Absolutely. Participatory democracy. Now, how can you have that with UN sustainable goals? I don't know, because those things are completely contradictory to each other. But that being said, even the Liberal Party lately is going after conservatives, calling them conspiracy theorists, far-right conspiracy groups. Boost conservative MPs petition to remove Canada from the United Nations. Wouldn't that actually be a good thing? I'll let you guys leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about our involvement with the United Nations. But here's the Liberal Party saying, in these challenging times, we need to be focused on working with our global partners. But one of Pierre Poilievre's MPs thinks we should withdraw from the United Nations. Pierre Poilievre needs to denounce this reckless idea immediately. Again, with the denounce something, we need you to denounce something. Get out there and say bad things about your own MP. Actually, Leslyn Lewis has been doing a great job. Dr. Leslyn Lewis, by the way, member of Parliament and a PhD. She's actually a doctor. So a lot of people that from the Liberal Party that have been talking smack about her, she's actually qualified to say a lot of this stuff. And she's been speaking out about the World Health Organization, and they're trying to remove sovereignty from our country. And again, there's nothing more anti-democratic than this, is to give our sovereignty, give powers of government away to foreign bureaucracies that have no stake in what we're doing. Absolutely no stake, despite they want to call things stakeholder capitalism. Over 60,000 Canadians have now signed the petition calling on Canada to protect our national sovereignty by withdrawing from the UN and its subsidiary organizations. The petition remains open for signature until February 7th. So I'll leave a link in the description down below if you feel so inclined to. Get over there and sign the petition. It's at 67,000 signatures. It's getting up there. It's getting up there. And these are official ones. It means they have to bring it up in the House of Parliament, and it becomes part of, part of Parliament, part of government, part of our way forward. But this is what they've been pushing. They've been pushing this stuff, what the Greens have been saying about we need to steal things. I mean, how does this actually work? How does this actually work in practice? You need to tax, how much? How much are they trying to tax from anybody? And what determines you from being part of that taxable group, part of that? It's envy. It really is all just envy. And they want to arbitrarily steal people's money, redistribute it back to other people. Lots of people in the comments there saying, well, they're taking it, they're going to take it away from eventually your average tax-paying Canadian and give it away to other people who just happen to be walking in the country. And it's sad that that's typically the way it ends up going. But this is their promotion. This is what they've been advocating for, is this UBI, and they're pushing for it all the time.
Introduce a framework to develop a guaranteed livable basic income. We are struggling throughout this country with homelessness, food insecurity, poverty, health, mental health issues, and this is one way that we could start to look at these issues. It's not the only way, but it's certainly a key way.
And I think we've gathered a great deal of data to show the positive consequences of offering people the opportunity.
Half of Canadians are pessimistic about their personal finances. A quarter of low-income families cannot pay for monthly expenses.
Introduce
Yeah, so that would cost us at the tune of trillions of dollars every year, something that we absolutely cannot afford. We would be insolvent for it. And if you think it's just the Greens and the Liberals and the NDP on with this idea, no, this is second in command to Pierre Poilievre, Melissa Lantsman talking about it
Some
right
political
here.
parties now saying, Melissa, that they want to have this as a steady thing, the minimum income.
Well, you know what? I actually do somewhat agree with that. And there's a conservative position on this. The universal income benefit, the thing that you're talking about, where you're giving people a living wage, that's going to come. And it could be that by a different name.
Doesn't sound very conservative to me, Melissa.
I actually think conservatives can own this, because you know what it does do? It does take government out of the mix of a bunch of means-tested programs thrown out of Ottawa by a bunch of bureaucrats, and gives everybody that thing that they need to get back to work, and we put that onto people.
Takes government out of the mix and puts government right back in your life. This is I'm going to take the libertarian approach on this one, not the conservative approach. I'm going to take the libertarian approach of getting the government out of my life. I don't want to sign up for more handouts or any handouts. I don't want any handouts, and I don't want to sign up for more people to get tied into this kind of thing, these freebies, these handouts, and this is what's being sold to everybody on the auspices of caring about everybody. But leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about the Green Party of Canada and their stance on your ability to earn a living. We'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.